and welcome. This is Heidi's Homemade Flosstube episode number 46. And today, I don't have a lot to show you, but I wanted to do an update because it's been, I think 3 weeks now. So, school has been out for about a week now, and I have started my summer job and doing some online stuff for another part-time summer job that hopefully will be starting here soon. And so I've been kind of busy doing that. I just found out that I finally got placed for my student teaching. So I had some training stuff I had to do for that and sign off that I did it so that stuff can move forward. I do not know where I'm going to be doing my student teaching at yet. They have not told me that or when it officially starts. I am assuming that it's going to be in one particular school district because that's the only school district that they told me that they reached out to. So I'm glad because I did my observations in the same school district and I really liked that one. So I'm hoping that that is the case, and I'm hoping that I'm going to really like my placement and that it will go well. But that's a future Heidi problem. So there's that. Let's see. Not a whole lot else has been happening. Life-wise, is just pretty much work. I do a little bit of stitching. A group of my stitchy friends and I had a group lunch last weekend for a couple of my stitchy group's members. Had birthdays within like a week of each other, so we picked a day in between and we did lunch. And so I did finish my super secret stitch that I had talked about the last couple times. I will show you a picture of that shortly and talk about that because that is one of my finishes for this time. And that was super fun. It was really nice to be able to go and hang out with that group of people, and there wasn't actually like stitching related. Like, we weren't sitting there stitching. We went to a restaurant and we ate and talked and stuff like that. Not that we don't talk when we're stitching, but it's a different atmosphere, and it was really nice to be in a different atmosphere than just sitting around stitching. So that was really, really fun. And let's see, what else is coming up? I have my next library meetup is tomorrow. Today is, by the way, I'm so scattered. Today is Friday, May 31st, and I'm filming this around noon. And I'm trying to film it earlier in the day so that by the time like the kids come out in the afternoon to play, which I'm in Arizona and it's hot. I finally broke down and turned on my air because it's been over 100 all week this week, and not necessarily so much for me, but for Sirius. I'm fine. It's because my thermostat has been saying that it's been about 85 in my apartment, which is perfectly fine for me. But I know that 85 for me and 85 for Sirius are two totally different temperatures. So once it continually stayed above 100 degrees, I went ahead and turned on the air. I still have it set at like 80 degrees, and sometimes I bump it up a little bit more. but it's definitely cooler in my apartment than it is outside. But yeah, I have to film early because the later it gets, the more potential there is for outside noise. And I live in an apartment complex, so there's always people walking around. And I have the swimming pool on this side, like kitty corner for my apartment, and I have the playground on this side, kitty corner for my apartment. So it's quite noisy at times. Which is fabulous when you're like trying to like watch TV or something, and yeah. But let's see. Anything else going on? I don't. Not a whole lot else is going on in life. Yeah, it's just like the first week of summer break, and just kind of figuring out what's going on. Like I said, I started my my summer job this week, and it's super early, super early. So like tonight, I have to go to bed at like 7 p.m. so I can get up at like 2:30 in the morning. But it is what it is, and I'd rather get it done and over with than have the rest of the day for stitching if I want. But I have made a few more bags and posted those on my Etsy shop. I do plan on making some more here in the relatively near future. So check that out if you haven't. Let's see. I guess we'll just jump right in. I have some fully finishes to talk about. And a couple whips. I don't have any haul or anything like that. At the end of the video, I will talk about some of the Flosstubers that I've watched recently. And that's pretty much it. I anticipate this being a shorter video, but we will see how much I talk. So I guess we'll jump right in. So I will post a picture of the whales that I finished. So I will show you. I did not show these when I got them because I knew that they were going to be a super secret stitch. And so one of my stitchy friends loves whales, and so for her birthday, I stitched this one and this one on the smallest count that I've stitched on for linen so far, which was 46 counts, and I did it on oh my gosh, I think it's Fiber on a Whim Earth, and it wasn't that bad. It kind of makes me want to like stitch on something even smaller, honestly. Just to see if I can. So I kind of make fun of myself because when I'm stitching on something that's tiny like that, most people put like magnifiers on or something, and I like take my glasses off because yeah, I can see fine if it's like right in front of my face, but if it's like out here, then it gets blurry. So there's that. I did see that she just released more of the cookie cutters collections, so I might have to pick those up when I have a chance. I do actually want to do a couple more of them in here, and this one is the one I really like because I like the leaves and stuff. I thought it was a little weird, to be honest. I thought it was a little weird that these are all like kind of autumn kind of designs, except for him, and he's like ocean. Like it didn't make sense to me. Whereas like these are all kind of like, I don't know, like kind of springy, kind of, I don't know, like even the houses kind of make sense with these, but the whale on this guy, he's just so different than the rest of the designs. I thought it was a little weird, but anyway, they went fairly quickly to stitch up. They weren't hard or anything. The hard part obviously was the size that I was stitching it on, but that was the first time I stitched on 46 count, and I don't think it's going to be the last. So yeah, that's one of my fully finishes. The next fully finished is a finish and fully finished. So I'll put a picture of where I was before I finished stitching it, and this is my fully finish of Blooming Tiny Town. And I think it came out really cute. I was debating whether I wanted to put some kind of trim on it, but I actually really like it just on the wood. So once I did this one, which I just finished stitching, and I'll put it up closer. So once I finished that one and I figured out how I wanted to do it, I then fully finished, and I get that still, I fully finished my Honey of a Tiny Town the same way so that I can switch them out. And I have other tiny towns that I plan on doing the same way so I can switch them out. So once I figured out how I liked it on that one, then I went ahead and basically did the exact same thing. It's almost like doing like a really long bookmark. All I did was I put iron-on interfacing to protect the stitches on the back, and I stitched a strand of floss, tied a couple knots in the ends so that they don't ravel too much, and they will eventually look like little tassels. And then I went through my button collection and found some buttons that matched for that. So he is ready to go onto my wooden spool, and this wooden spool came from Italy. I bought it on Etsy. If I can find the shop, it should be in my history. I will put a link below where I got it. But I talked about it more in previous videos. But the opening on this guy from here to here is 2.5 inches, so it was pretty much the perfect size for these. This is on 18 counts. The Blooming Tiny Town is on 18 counts earthen by Picture This Plus, and this one is on 18 counts, and it's just on a generic Amazon Ada that I had in my stash. It's a little on the stiff side, and I don't know what vendor it was from, but it works just fine. So there's that. So those are my fully finishes for this time. And then my next ones then to talk about are my whips. So the first one that I have to show you is my Sal Stitch Along. It's the only Sal that I'm doing and that is the Deadly Aquarium. This is not the most up-to-date picture. I didn't want to print the pictures every single time. I'm just printing the pattern releases as they go and updating my pattern papers. So if you're not familiar with this style, this is a Lola Crow stitch along, mystery stitch along, and it goes like all summer long. And the first exhibit is what she's calling it. The first exhibit is right here, and you're going to see it here in a second because I do have that done. And then the next one that she just released today, I actually just printed the pattern, is going up here into this section. So the where I'm at is here. And I'm almost done with this first exhibit. I have a little bit of fill in this dark brown that goes around the eel, and then all I have is back stitching on this first exhibit. I did not fully get the frame done before the exhibit came out, so as I was doing colors in the exhibits, and I realized that my piece is quite tight, which is fine. I'm planning on making this into a project bag, so I don't need a lot of extra space on the sides. And there's going to be stuff on the bottom. Yeah. So that's why it's a little higher than lower. Anyway, I'm fully aware of how I placed it. The color of this fabric is 20 count turquoise Ada from my Vintage Needle Arts. But as I was stitching some of these browns and the black, I went back and I started filling in some of the frame. I'm very close to being done with the frame. I still have to add in some more of, and I don't know if you can see it, but there's like white water marks that I need to finish it here in the center, but that's not near anything that is coming up to stitch on, so I'm not too concerned about it. But there's also like some bluish teal color coming up the sides of the posts that I need to add in, and there's also some sandy color along the bottom here, and I need to finish the little gulls because they're in there, but I have not fully finished stitching them yet. I was more concerned about getting the first exhibit done before the second exhibit came out. So I plan on doing some more stitching on that and getting that caught up. The second exhibit does not look like it's going to take too long. So I'm thinking that I should be able to have it fully caught up before next Friday gets dropped. So it's just, I did not give myself enough time to work on it like I should have in order to have it done in time. Otherwise, there's no excuses. I should have had it done. So anyway, the next thing that I stitched on, and this one, I've actually been stitching on this one for a little while. I kind of lost interest in it, I think, at one point. I'll put a picture of it because it was in my whip parade. So I'll put a picture of where it was, and this one is Strawberry Faire by October House, and that is that one. And I am doing a DMC conversion. I guess sort of what's called for, but some of them I've changed out myself. And I think I am, right now I'm kind of deciding what color I want to make this flower. You can't even see it in the picture. It's kind of a yellowy green color in the picture, but I'm thinking I'm going to make it one of the pinky colors. So that's what it looks like if you haven't seen it before. And this is where I am at now. So I gave this about not too long. I want to say maybe 3 hours. I think I gave it 2 days, but it wasn't like all day stitching. It was like a movie and then a movie. So like maybe 3.5 hours of stitching time. But I added in a bunch of the deeper red color in the strawberry. I added in the rest of the bird's tail and his white in his wing. So the bird is almost done. He just needs a little beak. This one's actually very close to having a finish. It's just a matter of finishing the inside of this strawberry. The flower, he needs a beak, and then the little pattern going along here, and that's it. So this one, if I gave it another couple of days, or even like 1 day of actually stitching on it, I probably could get it done. It's just not like really high priority. So, but I forced myself to switch out my go bag. So I have like a bag that I take with me when I go to like the library or to like AZ Stitchers or just, oops, sorry, totally bumped my computer. So I have like a go bag that has like 4 or 5 different projects in it at any given time that I just grab and go, and I just find something in there to work on when I get to wherever I'm going. And I totally forgot to put this back in the bag. So I finally switched that out. So you're going to see a couple of different ones this time than the last few times, because I was tired of seeing the same ones over and over again. So there's that. And my next whip is this one. And this is Bewitched by Autumn Lane Stitchery. And I will have a picture of what it looked like at my whip parade, because I have not touched this since my whip parade. And I was actually stitching on this yesterday, so it's still in the hoop. Take that out real quick so I can show you. And I don't remember, I think this is on Haunted by Picture This Plus. It looks like Haunted, and it very much reminds me of this one, but I had this way longer. This piece is way longer. So this is where I am at now. So I have added in, and if I can hold on to it, okay. So I have added in the dark pumpkin, so let's see. So I have added in the dark pumpkin here, the fence, this background lighter blue color, and then this is like a tree, so I've added in like all the way up to here on the tree. So I added in quite a bit. This was just from stitching on this yesterday. So yeah. It's slow but steady on this piece. I think it's a lot more color blocking than I was anticipating when I got this pattern, I think. I don't know. And I'm not like a huge color blocking fan. And I don't like the fact that I have to have it in a hoop. It's just that this fabric is way too soft for me to stitch in hand. The stitches don't look very good. So I have to put it in a hoop to keep the tension looking nice. Which is I'm not a huge fan of doing. But anyway, that is it for what I've been stitching on. Yeah, I I will probably give that one at least another day before I put it away, unless I really get on a roll with it and want to keep working on it. I might give Strawberry Faire like one more sit down on it before I put that one away. Let's see. Other than that, I don't really have any actual like stitching plans. I do have some plans to make a few things. I have some older embroidered pillowcases that I am planning to make into project bags. So you will probably be seeing those sometime in the near future. I actually have them soaking in OxyClean right now because some of them have yellowed a little bit, and I'm trying to get some of that yellowing out before I start cutting them up. So I am planning on making those into some project bags, and my thoughts on those is that I will make, because they're pillowcases, right? So it's like a set. Most of them I have the two for the set. So my thought process is that I will make one for myself, and then I will put one up on my Etsy. So if you are interested in those, I will probably have those to show in like my next couple videos. I feel like I'm forgetting to talk about something, but I don't know what it is, so I guess I will just move on to who I have been watching lately. And I honestly have not watched a ton of Flosstube lately, so I pretty much just watched the ones that I like always watch. So let's see, I watched Brenda and the Cereal Starter, even though I don't do samplers other than like Away We Ride, and but I feel like that's not like a true sampler because it doesn't have an alphabet on it. So but yeah, they crack me up. Let's see, I watched Fair's Stitchery. Stitching by the Shore. Laura does a Facebook group, and she does like a monthly challenge, and I should have talked about this when I was showing you, but a couple of the monthly challenges, I participated in her monthly challenge thing. I did not complete her monthly challenge in any way, shape, or form. So she posts like 10 prompts, and you're supposed to like stitch on something that goes with those prompts, and like post where you start, then post like where you ended up at. Well, I did 3 of the 10. I totally intended to do more, but time got away from me. So I completed the Ink Circles Spring Tapestry earlier this month and made that into a project bag, and that was one of the prompts, was stitch something with a curved line. So I finished that one, and then another prompt was to stitch on something that reminds you of your mother or mother figure, and that I did the the little snowy pink cottages, or cottage by Nora Corbett, which I showed you I think in my last episode or the one before that. So I stitched on that earlier in the month. So obviously I had good intentions because I stitched on a few things like right at the beginning of the month. And then the only other one that I did that went with the prompts was, one of the prompts was stitch on something with flowers. And I used the strawberry Faire as my prompt for that because there are flowers on that piece. And I did my 2 days of stitching on it, and I completed that one. But I did not do the other ones because there was like stitch on something that could be found in Star Wars, and like I guess I should have used Bewitched because there's like a moon and stuff, but yeah, I wasn't in the mind space to think of something that would work. I am planning on doing the June, so today is the 31st. I might actually, now that I'm thinking about it as I'm filming, I might actually go back and look at the list and set up my go bag for like the first 5 prompts or something. So that way I'm more likely to stitch on the stuff that like show up in the prompts. I don't want to start anything, so if I can't find something in my whips to fit with the prompts, then I probably just won't do that prompt. I mean, it's not like you're being held like feet to the fire or something. It's all for fun. But yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, I might do that later today after I do some more video training. I'm like taking a break from my video training to film this video. And set up my go bag. And I also have like some projects sitting next to my bed that I work on when I'm sitting in bed at night. And so I'll stack a couple that work for that next to my bed and like maybe do like 5 and 5 or something. that way they have a chance of getting touched. Other than my Deadly Aquarium, because that one, I guess that one is kind of top priority because I really want to try to stay on pace with that one. Kind of because I just want to make sure that it's done when it's done, but also, I mean, like when the mystery cell is over, like I want it to be pretty much done. But also because I want to see if I can, I think. I mean, there's no reason why I couldn't because I stitch fast enough that I should have it done. But whatever. And I totally went off on a tangent there. So yeah, so I have watched. It is one of those days, I think. I have watched Brenda and the Cereal Starter, Sarah Stitchery, Stitching by the Shore, and Just Keep Stitching. I watch them like every week. Let's see. I don't think I have watched anything new. No. Not in the last few weeks. I have not watched anything new. I need to try to find a couple of new ones so I can talk about some new ones. But yeah, so if you stuck with me this long, thanks so much for watching and putting up with my scattered brain and my tangents. But thank you if you have subscribed. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video and my scatteredness of it. Hopefully my next video will be in about 2 weeks. I try to shoot for 2 weeks. It doesn't always work out that way. Sometimes I have the best intentions of doing a video on that second week timeline, but there's too much noise going on outside, or like there's no lights, and I end up having to push it back, and then it ends up being, a little bit longer. But hopefully I'll have some more stuff to show. I feel like I will have some more free time for stitching than normal, because of my work schedule. So, yeah. I'm stick a fork in me. I'm done. I have no idea. So, thanks again for watching. I will see you guys next time. Thanks. Have a great day.